Hello everybody and welcome back to Mass Effect 3. I almost said Baldur's Gate 3 and then I triple checked myself and I stumbled over it. I forgot we last time changed into the hoodie look, which I'm not sure still keeps her buff body, so I might actually have to change it back. I think it does. I think they said in the mod that because her chest is small in this one. Okay, I was like, I don't know about this, but it does look pretty good. So it's been a while, as per usual, since I recorded last. Believe you guys are still several episodes behind, well, at least 6 behind from where I'm at right now. I just uploaded part 81 today. But yeah, I honestly don't really remember much of what we did last time. I checked the video really quick. Looked like we got that info that Cerberus, we finally got all the info that Cerberus, that the Ellusive Man has a way to potentially control the Reapers, is what I keep trying to press J. So where is it? The Prime one? Not that. Priority Cerberus headquarters. It's prepared to recover the Prothean VI that holds the key, because we just got that taken from us from that stupid little Kylang snake. So this is the final mission, as I probably mentioned. But we still have one final DLC. These two, we can't do. These, we could maybe, I swear I bought at least these two, and I don't know why they won't turn in, but alas. I'm weirdly holding off on shore leave, kind of. I'm like, oh, do I want to do that yet? But it's I've had a really rough week at work. It was a rough week. We're working near the Grand Canyon, super beautiful, but the project has been not managed super well in that in timing, in personnel. So it was a rough week. So of course that trickles down to the actual employees and not the office personnel, right? But, so it was a rough week, but some really cool archaeology. And I'm like, you know what? I deserve a treat. And it does make sense for the Normandy to go in for retrofits before we do our massive mission here, right? Our priority one is all right, we need to make sure everything is ship shape, as they say. So, the crew has earned some shore leave, bring the Normandy to the Citadel, and visit Admiral Anderson's apartment, which, if you remember, he is basically loaning out to us, which he was forced to give us the Normandy as well way back in the day. He doesn't have to give us his apartment. He's just being really nice about it. Be quiet for that, even in my own headphones. But I think he's just loaning it out to us. I don't think he's actually giving it to us, but I guess he'll tell us, right, in a second. Sorry, it's been so long. I'm actually checking just to make sure all the recording stuff is doing what it's supposed to do. Let's go on and finally take Anderson up. We've been super busy, and Shepard deserves, during retrofits, Shepard needs a nap. It's gonna be super chill, barely an inconvenience. Guaranteed nothing's gonna go wrong. Hello, house. I've missed you.
Commander, I've got Admiral Anderson on the QEC. Patching him through to you now.
Dad.
Shepard.
Admiral, how you holding up?
Day by day, Commander.
Yeah.
Nah.
Hackett sent me a message about this apartment.
I want you to have it.
Oh.
Take it off.
Just taking it.
Are you serious?
You need a place that's yours. Somewhere to recharge. Clear your head. Kaylee wanted us to settle down there. Thing is, the longer I'm on Earth, the less I want to leave.
He got with
I want
Kaylee.
as few loose ends out there as possible. Like I said, you'd be doing me a favor.
Kaylee is somebody that we rescued earlier. She was at the Grissom Academy. And there's a book where it kind of talks about Kaylee and Anderson's past. And it's like, yay! Yay! They got together! Woo! Anyway, yeah, this is totally just not nepotism necessarily, but it's well, the millennial in me is you're just giving her an apartment on the Citadel? How do you know she could afford the upkeep on that thing? And have you transferred the paperwork to me? But yeah, anyway.
That's very generous.
It's practical. We need you in the best shape possible. Rested. Focused.
If you say so. Thank you.
And make yourself at home, damn it. It's yours now.
Kind of makes me want to cry.
I'm sure I can manage.
Okay, good. Been meaning to do that for a while. I'll talk to you soon.
Really, it's really sweet. It's so kind of him. He's always thinking of me.
Be careful out there, Anderson.
You too, Shepard.
And what's, I think, even more why, at least I call him Dad because of Shepard. My Shepard in particular is an orphan, right? And, like, I don't know, you could still have, like, a dad figure even with, like, having your dad alive. Like, I think Colin, no, not Colin as Shepard, Spacer Shepard's parents are still alive. But, you know, it's like, he could still be, like, a dad figure, but it's like,
Received a new message.
It's just different. It just hits different when you're an orphan, and, like, this was the guy that kind of helped raise you with your career. Like, I've had mentor figures in my career that I look up to highly, and that I highly respect, you know? And, anyway, I think that's why I latch on to this relationship really, really strongly. Notes for Anderson biography.
The Normandy? A brand new ship. My ship. You don't forget that moment. The first time you're standing there. The whole crew looking to you for direction. Unforgettable. I'd led men and women before that. Seen a lot of combat already. Always managed to find my way home in one piece. Do that a few times, you begin to think you know better than the next guy. Maybe you do, I don't know. But if you're lucky, really lucky, you find yourself on a good ship, in front of a good crew. A crew you can trust with your life. Gifted. Disciplined. Brave. All of them. Eager to set sail into the endless black ocean. I still remember my XO asking what my orders were. Shepard, I said, let's see what we can find.
I'm gonna cry. I'm actually tearing up. Like, oh my gosh. Could you imagine, right? And then it's like, you know, Anderson deserves his own biography in and of himself. Like, I totally believe that. But to have, like, the tidbits of Shepard there, not on her own story, but as part of Anderson's, is just like, like, I don't know, it's really meaningful. Where's my messaging system? Why is it yelling? What's yelling at me? My ship! My ship! My home away from home. Is it upstairs? There we go. Catalog. Hang on, it's beeping at me. Dinner at sushi place on me. Hey Shepard, I got a few things I want to go over with you with the Normandy and Dry Dock. I figured we could meet up at that Rishi sushi place down in the wards. I hear it's the best. Heck yeah! Sushi! Meet Joker. Joker, we're going out. Catalog. Catalog. What? Okay. Oh! Could I do this before? Oh, I have to buy. Oh my gosh! Where's the shopping at? Because I was just thinking, he's like, oh, you know, make it home, and I'm like, well, I can't change the decor, but can I? I don't remember. That's actually so sick, honestly. I gotta move my drink, my mug. Oh my gosh! I think my is my entire ship collection gonna be in here? Because if so, we're missing bits and pieces. We're missing several. I have medals, or is this Anderson's? I don't know. This might be Anderson's collection. Oh, more? No, no more. Okay. It's like nice and homey and cozy in here, and then it's like very modern in other places.
A few months ago, I had a chance to sit down with one of Earth's most decorated soldiers, Admiral David Anderson. He was kind enough to answer my questions and talk about his career. Today, the Admiral is on Earth, leading the defense of our home against the Reapers. We have no communication with him or any soldiers on Earth. But
I do.
Forget, what they're doing.
I got it!
Tonight's show is dedicated to all of the soldiers out there, fighting and dying to keep us safe.
I wonder if the...
Admiral Anderson, today marks the 30th anniversary of the N7 program.
Whoa!
Can you describe your first day of training in this now famous program?
The Interplanetary Combatives Training Program is all business from day one.
How so?
We're given basic gear, then separated and stranded on an asteroid with no nav data. The test ends when the last person runs out of oxygen.
Sounds daunting. What happens to the ones who run out of air first?
Out of the program. The best N7s can survive alone, but work together to survive even longer.
That's very impressive, Admiral. Deep space survival training. That has to be so difficult. All of it would take such strength of character. Well, just plain strength. But then you seem like a strong person.
I'm sorry. Is there a question?
Yeah.
Well, does the program make the man? Or do you think you were born for this?
It's a bit of both, I suppose.
Yep.
Every soldier reaches a point in their career, sometimes more than once, when they are asked to give more than they ever thought they could. That moment is the test. I've seen men and women, almost sure to fail, persevere long past the point of breaking. That experience changes them. Others, with all the gifts and abilities, fail in that moment. Sometimes they pick themselves up and carry on. Sometimes they're just done.
What about you? What was your moment?
I've had a few, none of which I'd like to share. But I think the toughest tests are still ahead of me.
What makes you say that?
Call it a hunch.
Soldier's intuition?
Something like that.
Do you trust your intuition? I mean, do you follow your heart over your mind?
Well, it depends on the day. No, I suppose if I were to be honest, I do trust my instincts. The problem is, war isn't orderly. And the enemy is never predictable. Even the most experienced veteran is going to find themselves in situations they haven't trained for. In those instances, and there's more than I'd like to admit, your instincts are the only thing keeping you alive. That, and the men and women you're fighting beside.
But soldiers are only as good as their leader. Isn't that true?
Yeah. A good leader can make an okay squad great. A bad leader, well, war tends to make examples of them.
What makes a good leader, then?
A good leader is someone who values the life of his men over the success of the mission.
Interesting
But
take.
understands that sometimes the cost of
Oh,
failing a mission
yeah.
is higher than the cost of losing those men.
That's a terrible line to have to walk.
Yes, it is. But war is a terrible thing.
Thank you for your time, Admiral.
Thank you.
The remainder of this interview was to take a more personal look at Admiral Anderson's life. It wasn't finished when the Reapers invaded. We can only hope that the Admiral and the soldiers under his command survive to tell us the rest of their stories. I'm Kalisa Al-Jalani. Thank you for watching.
We're also only getting bits and pieces of his life, or bits and pieces of a biography that they were getting ready to make, it looks like, but never quite got done.
No, it's fine. I got a few minutes. First contact war? Yeah. I was there.
I was there.
My first real combat.
Huh.
First for a lot of us. I remember one night early in the war, strapped to my seat as our transport approached the LZ. Everyone was dead silent. Just the sound of breathing. Good men. I trained with all of them. We were always joking and horsing around, but not this time. Just the rattle of the shuttle. And that heavy breathing. Everyone was thinking the same thing. We're off to fight alien invaders. Aliens. Think about that. We all grew up wondering what was out there. If we were alone in the universe. Now we knew. we weren't alone. And we were in trouble. So there we were, about to face an enemy as different and unknown as we could imagine. I knew I had to say something, keep the men relaxed. So I turned to the soldier beside me, Hendricks, I think, and asked him how his mother was doing. Fine, he said. Why? Because I heard your mama so ugly the Marines thought she was a Taurian. Almost shot her. I got a few smiles. Then Hendricks turned to me and said, "Hell, Anderson, I heard it was a picture of your mama that started this goddamn war in the first place. Scared the Taurians shitless." Everyone had a good laugh at that. And the boys fought great that night. Sometimes that's all it takes. A joke, a pat on the back. Just a little reminder that everything's gonna be okay.
Those jokes were very lame, for the record. Very super lame. Could have done better. But, like, I think sometimes it's the lame ones that are, like, funny, too. Like, in the right situation, like, a super lame joke is, like, actually really hilarious because it's lame, you know? I've always loved this. I've always loved this water feature. I've always loved these little plants here. I think it really, like, gives a little bit of something to the space. No TV for me to watch yet. Oh, Anderson leaving stuff at the bar.
Embarrassing moments? I've got more of those than anyone will ever know. Only way to learn something. But if I had to pick one to share, I had just gotten promoted to N7. Full of myself, king of the castle. Found myself buying drinks for undesirables in some rundown bar in the wards. They toasted my recent promotion. Hell, they would have toasted Batarian slavers if it had got them more drinks. About the time my money ran out, my new friends turned on me. I was outnumbered. Things didn't look good. My plan to get out of there involved lots of punching. Well, that worked for a while. Then a table hit me. Or I fell down. When I came to, I saw a Solarian putting the rest of the troublemakers down. A Solarian? Moved like a damn cat, I swear.
I mean, yeah, I believe it.
Everybody was out cold. Or running. He walked over and helped me up. N7, he asked. Yes, sir, I replied. He looked over my collection of unconscious friends, nodding. Not bad, human, he said. Then he walked away. I had met my first Spectre.
Ah!
Learned an important lesson that day. No matter how good you think you are, there's always somebody quicker, faster, and a hell of a lot smarter than you just around the corner. That little lesson's kept me alive more than once since then.
Yeah, I was like, well, especially the Solarian special ops are nothing to scoff at, you know? I think the fire animation looks way better than it used to. That's something. We've got, is this actual wood that we're burning? It's not just like a propane situation? Let's see, I think. What is that? Oh no, I just want peace. Peace, give me peace. The Normandy.
You never asked me about this, but my wife just called. My ex-wife. Nobody likes to talk about the toll that long months apart can have on military relationships. She wasn't military. She couldn't handle it. But it's not even about military and non-military, damn it. It's space flight. Space flight. Finding the mass relays, miracles of engineering. Human imagination rising to meet our desires. We pay a price for that curiosity, that drive. Our relationships suffer. People we love suffer. But that's reality, and it's worth the cost. I must have thought it was. I guess I still do. In the end, you just have to hope you made the right choices.
There's definitely some like foreshadowing or even like a parallels to Shepard's career in a lot of things with Anderson, but it's also just interesting to hear like his perspectives and stuff on his life. And did we? Me! It's about me!
Sure, I can talk about Commander Shepard.
Big time.
There's been a lot written about the commander,
There has?
but most of it isn't.
What?
People are quick to judge. They don't know the whole story. I don't even know the whole story. But I know the woman. Worked with her. Fought with her. Trust her with my life. Shepard's had some rough patches. Who of us hasn't? She's been forced to fight a lot of battles alone. God only knows how she got out of some of that. Makes your head spin. Thing is, you never heard a complaint.
I'm gonna cry.
Never once got, no sir, I can't do that. She never hesitated. Few people know what Shepard's been through. I'd like to think I come pretty close. And I worry sometimes she forgets. There's a whole bunch of people who lose sleep over her getting back home.
Oh.
Maybe it doesn't need to be said. Maybe we're too dumb to say it. Soldiers like the commander are rare. Women like Shepard, even more rare.
The like passive like approval or whatever that I'm getting from, you know what I mean, like the passive, what is it, external validation that I'm getting from this is actually crazy. I thought this was a shower for a second. It's a closet, the most empty closet I've ever seen in my life. Oh.
Okay. I have your new questions here. As a leader, do I ever feel that the end justify the means? Spirit of law over word of law. I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole, but I think I know what you're after. You're referring to the way I, arranged to have the released to Commander Shepard before the Battle of the Citadel. I'm not sure how valuable hindsight is to the military. Obviously, it worked out for the best. Without the Normandy and Commander Shepard free to do what they needed to do, what we needed them to do, Saren might have taken the Citadel. I think it's clear what a different galaxy this would be if that had happened. I did what I had to. If I had been wrong, I would have gladly accepted the repercussions. The real trick is never being wrong.
Yeah.
If you're looking for more action and less philosophy in these notes, let me know.
Anderson's definitely the kind of guy, if you give him a bit. I like that about him though, right? Like he's a man of action, but he's a thinker, you know? You can't underestimate him. And that's why he's doing so well, you know, and doing really well with the not counter-revolutionary, I don't know, the revolution? the resistance going on on Earth.
The Turians. Well, I might not always see eye to eye with the politics of the individual, but I have a great respect for the Turian military. Any Alliance soldier lucky enough to take part in their training programs will certainly be better for it. Their precision, skill, and discipline come together in a way that's second to none. Not that I'm faulting our own people or training. It's just that after fighting Turians in the First Contact War, years later, I had the opportunity to observe and train on Palaven. It was a turning point for me. And I would encourage any soldier to try it. It's a unique experience to put yourself in the squad of a Turian commander.
I'll bet.
My commander was an uncompromising bastard named Bartix Oryx. If you can find him, just ask how the platoon I commanded was trounced in his strategy game. Humbly. But I've used what I learned that day many times. The xenophobes will have their say. But I think it's vital that we do more of this kind of cross-species training. There you go. And if you do find General Oryx, let me know. I owe him money.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be, like, for one thing, I don't think the games go into it very much, which is fine, this is Shepard's story, but, like, I believe, if I can find the timeline, that Shepard was born technically before, because it was 30 years ago. I think Shepard was born right when aliens, when we found out we weren't alone in the universe, like very close. I think she was maybe like a year old, or like just out, like she was born right around that time. And then like, obviously for my Shepherd, she had the situation where she was the war hero. I believe I took the war hero background where she saved an entire colony from the raiders from the Terminus, like the Terminus space. I know there's a timeline somewhere, but oh my gosh, I am so you guys, it's like I've played this game before. Okay, we need to, 2169. Yes, we have the lunar colony. Jump 0. We discover the Prothean ruins. Let me get element 0. Commander Shepherd born in 2154. Oh, so in 2157, Turians encounter human explorers. That's when the first contact war happens. Occupation and liberation of the human colony of Shanxi. So Shepherd was 3 years old when humans were encountered. But like I was saying, anyway, is that like, and we brought it up a bit with the guy in the Leviathan DLC, where it's like, these people, including us, are old enough technically to remember a time when we didn't know there were aliens out there. Like, humans are so brand spanking new to the galactic front. You know what I mean? It's actually kind of crazy when you think about it. And like the fact that we already had like some of these cross species training things, you know, that Anderson got to partake in that, and like, you know, there's just so much that you'd have to like I think humanity would still be like realigning itself from like such a cosmic, like truly actually cosmic shift, you know, like a cosmic paradigm shift, you know. And we yes, during the Skyllian Blitz, pirates and slavers attacked Elysium, the human capital in the Skyllian Verge. Yeah, and that's where I think the Batarian slavers attacked the Alliance colony of Mindor. If you picked the, I think, not Soul Survivor. That's if you pick the colonist background between like Spacer, colonist, and Earth Orphan. So I'm technically from Earth too. So like this whole time, originally in the original, like, or when I originally played, it's like, yeah, sometimes like even if you're not born on your home planet, like you'd still, or like your origin planet, you know, like you'd still have a connection to it. But those who were born on their origin planet are like gonna be very attached to, at least in some way, right? Like maybe you wouldn't even know, but if you see it burning, it's like really tragic. So I feel like my Shepherd too has like this extra attachment to Earth, where it's like, despite her having had probably a pretty terrible life on Earth until she was like 18 and joined the military, like it's still your home, right? And like to be here, to be given this home on the Citadel by Anderson, you know, and like him being like not wanting to leave Earth, and like still having the hope to make plans for the future, you know, and like I think even after a situation like this where everything goes like, you know, toes up or whatever, you would maybe want to like Bradley, yeah, I think Bradley, the guy who's like running the Citadel, CSEC, he wants to kind of go back to Earth too, kind of. At least to see his family. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling, but yeah, I mean, the Thresher mod, that's his Soul Survivor, like, career. This is the War Hero career. Yeah. Oh no! Shepherd is presumed dead. Oh yeah, that's Mass Effect. This is the end of Mass Effect 1 and the start of Mass Effect 2. We did current date. So yeah, Chris again in the comments was like, I thought he was like, I thought more time had passed, you know, between all these things happening, but it has only been very, very, very short time. In 2183 is when we stopped Saren. 2185 is when the events of the Mass Effect 2 essentially take place, and then we have 2186 as our current date, right? So not 3 years. And for 2 of those years, I believe it was 2 years, Shepherd was, she was being reconstructed, right? Which is wild. Oh, so much happening in such a short amount of time. Anyway, I'm a genius. I can't believe I remembered where the time... Not even remembered, I just, like, guessed really, really well. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Like, I kind of wish we could have more from the people who... Oh, hey, look, my reflection. Who went through the time of, like, being like... Oh my gosh, there's aliens, you know? And then having to fight them, and then having to be friends with them all in, like, the space of 30 years, you know?
You asked me to talk
My
about the
baby!
SS Normandy,
I'm gonna cry, actually.
the SR-1.
Like, really, actually?
As commander of the Tokyo, I was consulted on the Normandy's design and on board for her initial
I
training
miss her.
exercises. The average person probably doesn't know that the Normandy was a joint project with the Taurians. Acting CO, Eli Xander, was no diplomat. She ran out of patience with Taurian posturing and politicking during construction.
That surprises
The
me.
chief architect of the Drive Corps, Octavio Tatum, and his team of Taurian engineers were in the CIC for final training exercises. Tempers flared when Xander pushed the limits of the stealth system, waiting to vent the IES well past what Tatum was comfortable with. I tried to calm the situation, but it still ended with the Taurian scientist in shackles and a human-Taurian fistfight at Korra's den later. Funny now, when I first laid eyes on the Normandy, she was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen.
Oh, amen.
Day after that training run, Admiral Wright found me on the bridge. She's yours, he said. Can't trust her to Xander. Send me a list of crew from the Tokyo you'd like, and prep for your first mission. Short command thanks to Saren. Still, one of the highlights of a long career.
Yeah, I think Anderson only got her for, like, her initial trial run. Like, it's not even like we were out there for 6 months or anything. Like, we were out there, like, just trying to do a trial run. And I do wish he'd had more time with her, you know? And that he wasn't kind of forced to give her up so quickly. Oh, I will always regret that for him. But, dude, I think I've said it a million times. I never understood why usually dudes are like, I love trains, I love airplanes, I love cars. I'm like, whatever, like, it's just a hunk of metal, it's just a hunk of machine. The second I saw the Normandy SR-1 come onto the screen, and I'm getting emotional about it, like, I really am, but, like, she was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen, and, like, to this day, the only, like, real, like machine, I guess, collectibles, the only, transport collectibles I have every version of the Normandy. The SR-1, the SR-2 Cerberus version, and the SR-2 Alliance version from Mass Effect 3. And I don't know what it is. I have a beautiful painting that I got at a Comic-Con once of the SR-1. And it's all in storage now, right? I have so many beautiful things I'd love to have on display. But I don't have anywhere to put them. But... oh, that painting is so beautiful. She cost me a chunk of money to, like, an actual, like, real official artist, like who painted, like, very, very fancy paintings, had it for sale. And I never saw that artist again, but he said he was going to try to do the SR2s, or maybe it was the SR2 that he had. No, I think it was the SR1, and then he was going to do the different versions of the SR2 and have them for sale the next year, but I never saw him at Comic-Con again. And I looked for a few years, but God, I love that painting so much. Anyway, I love the Normandy. I don't know, like, obviously, like, I have good memories with Mass Effect, and so, like, that's one of the reasons I like the ship, but I fell in love with her at first sight, and I was like, if nobody else has my back, even if I don't have a romance or whatever, like, I've got my ship, you know what I mean? Like, I'm 100% in it at this point for falling in love with your mode of transportation, at least for that. For the Normandy specifically, I get it.
Okay. So, Tombstone...
That's a way to put it.
Admiral David Edward Anderson. Not sure why anybody would be interested, but thanks for asking. I was born in London, June 8th, 2137. The last of 3 children born to Ursula and Paul Anderson. A nurse and a flight mechanic, respectively. But that's a little dry. And someone's gonna spice this up, right? Never been much for the spotlight. Anyway, almost 50 by the time they had me.
Impressive.
My mother worked shifts, so my father would often take me to the base. While he worked, I watched transport ships and fighters take off. Worked his whole life around space travel, my father. But he never left Earth. Not for a day.
That's wild.
He was a good man. But that's just a side note. Don't put that in. Who is it, Kaylee? Yes, I need to take this.
Kaylee!
I hope this is what you're after. I'll get to the more interesting N7 stuff next time.
Kaylee was here. Wee. I'm happy for him that he found happiness, you know? At least a little bit. Ooh, yeah, that's right. I can change my loadout. I do. I forgot I changed her into this whole set. The Rosenkopf set. Oh my goodness, and the death mask. I remember, because I don't like the death mask necessarily, but like, you gotta, like, look, it matches. It matches. Girl, I don't even care about my guns. A hot tub. Oh, that's right. I think if you romance Samantha Trainer, she'll come in here. Or you can just let her in here. I know you can do the shower scene where she goes in to your shower on the ship and uses it, and she'll invite you in, and you're like, "Hi, I'm good." You can be totally like blasé, like, "No, what? No, yeah, it's good. I'm glad you're enjoying it," you know. But I think I got all the Anderson materials. I wanted us to get a good, I don't know if I'm able, if this is like the games, especially with how sporadically I upload them, if people will fully understand how important Anderson is, right? What a good man he is. So I'm glad we were able to take these moments. I'm glad they give us these moments when he gives us this to find out more about him as a person, you know? So, but yeah, this house is gorgeous, and I've been waiting to get here because I do have, I think right here. Yeah, buddy. Not right now. Something has to happen. There's something that will happen to the piano, and a tiny little change will happen, and when that happens, I'll be ready to do another ambiance video where I just sit like this for an hour, which is what I did back in the day. Actually, I don't remember. Was I up higher? I might have been. I think I actually was up here. Yeah, but I need to be in a spot where I can like sort of jam Shepard into a corner, and so it's just she's not. There we go. Maybe like that. Yeah. So, we'll see. But the sound of these cars going by and that water feature, that got me through college, man. 100%. So, anyway, I'm happy to welcome you all here. Oh, dang, you can see her when she pops out a little bit when she does a movement. That's funny. But, I'm happy to share the Citadel DLC with you all, the shore-lived DLC in Anderson's apartment that he so graciously gave us. You know, that he's thinking for Shepard, he's looking out for her despite everything, and he asks so much of her, but he also gives her so much, and I'm gonna get emotional about it. But thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. Really quick, I want to say thank you to my patrons. Alright, really quick, I want to say thank you to my patrons, to all my patrons, including my Acorn tier patrons. Thank you so much, Fane, for your support. I very much appreciate it. And I want to give an extra special shout out to my Sapling tier patrons, Reese Galito, thank you so much, and Sebastian James, thank you so much. I appreciate your guys' support. And I want to give an extra super special shout out to my Forest tier patrons who have gone above and beyond in their support of me and the channel, and who I truly, honestly cannot thank enough. So thank you, Christopher, so much for your support, and thank you so much, Nightshade, for your support. I appreciate you both very much, and thank you all again for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.